Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 9 May 2022. Coming to you this evening with a knife review. And this video is brought to you by Knives Ship Free. The best place to buy knives. Period. And promotional consideration paid by Knives Ship Free. KSF furnished the knife you see before you, in front of the camera, free of charge. Didn't have to pay for it, and that's what that is. Of course, those of you who have been paying attention over the last couple months know that there's kind of a new arrangement, a new partnership between Jay at Knives Ship Free and yours truly. We're really trying to feature USA-made blades in this series, but this one, although not made in the United States, it is from a U.S. brand, and it's from a great cutlery tradition in Japan. Seki City, to be exact. What you're looking at, guys, is the new Spyderco Stretch 2 Lightweight XL. It's a pretty doggone special knife for a lot of reasons. Let's get into it, shall we? So most of you are familiar with the Stretch and the Stretch 2, which was a little bit redesigned in this area to give more of a pronounced 50-50 choil, which the XL carries. A few years ago, they did a sprint run of the Stretch 2, kind of an homage to the old Spyderco Hunter, and I can't remember the model number, designed by Sal Glesser, and it featured this blade profile, the straight spine, instead of that sort of droppy, speary stretch blade, very similar to the Gale Bradley blade. I thought it was aesthetically awesome and functionally awesome. I just wasn't wild about the ivory FRN handle. A lot of you were, though. So, when Spyderco decided to develop the Stretch 2 XL, they went with that straight spine blade profile. Very paramilitary 2-esque, even military-esque, wouldn't you say? And let's get into some dimensions here. The Stretch 2 XL features a handle 4.97 inches in length and a blade length of 3.92, or I guess you could say like 3 and 29/32-ish. Right? Just shy of 4 inches, which makes it longer than an Endura. Not quite as long as a military. And construction-wise, there are some changes as well, not just the length. I'm going to drop in for you a knife I have in for sharpening. This is an Endura FFG with that teal blue handle, which is stunning, and the K390 blade. You will notice the blade on the Stretch 2 XL Lightweight is broader in this dimension. It is longer, 3 3/4 inches or 3.75 on the Endura, 3.92 on the Stretch 2 XL. Blade stock, about the same. It's just a little skinnier than an Endura. They list the Endura at 0.13, so just over an eighth. And I measured this particular Stretch 2 XL at 0.118. For reference, let's talk about these dimensions. And you know what? Let's just bring the old handwritten chart in. Okay. In fact, I'm going to do something a little interesting here. I'm going to obscure one dimension, because it's rather shocking. Okay? Stretch 2, blade length 3.43, 3.75 on the Endura, 3.92 on the Stretch 2 XL Lightweight. Handle length 4.71, 5 inches on the Endura, 4.97. One thing I'm noticing already, a more efficient blade to handle ratio on the Stretch 2 XL than the Endura, even than the Stretch 2 normal size. Blade thickness 120 on the Stretch 2, 130 on the Endura, 118 on the Stretch 2 XL. Handle thickness 0.42 on the Stretch, 0.45 on the Endura, and again about 0.42 on the Stretch 2 XL. But this is the shocking dimension. Weight 3.7 on the Stretch 2 normal size, 3.7 on the Endura FFG. What? 2.7 ounces on the Stretch 2 XL. How on earth did it get longer and lose an ounce? And then just for us edge nerds, thickness behind the edge TBE 0.022 and very consistent hilt to tip. So let's talk about this, shall we? How on earth did this knife lose an ounce? Well, let's just take a look. You'll notice on the Endura, also on the Stretch 2 lightweight, we've got a pivot screw. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 body screws. And a pivot and, well, this is actually not a body screw, it's the rocker pin, but on the 3 body screws, female cup on one side, screw head on the other. And you'll notice inside the Endura, get you some light here, nested stainless steel liners. Same affair if you have a Stretch, by the way. Now let's take a look at this here Stretch. Well, let's see. I got a rocker pin. I got 1, 2, 3 body screws. And if I flip it over, well, what happened? Huh. I don't see any female cups. Do you? And if I look inside, I bet you we're going to see something interesting. Shall we take a look? Uh-oh. What are we missing? There are no liners. So we've done some very creative molding, because I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 clip mounting locations, all with steel female threads. So we've got some inserts that are molded into the FRN, and the same for the body screws. The female nuts, for lack of a better word, are molded into the FRN. Guys, this knife weighs nothing. It's almost like Spyderco has watched the Benchmade bug out for, what, 3 or 4 years now and said, I think we can do it bigger. So what should we call this? The Stretch 2 XL lightweight, or maybe the Spyderco Big Out? How about that? Yeah. Now, I got to tell you guys, before I started examining this knife, I thought, let's see, last time Spyderco did an XL, I freaking hated it. The Manix 2 XL. I just thought it was a horrible knife. And those, you guys may remember if you've been watching me for like 10 years. The Manix 2 had a body screw right here that anchored the steel backspacer that housed, it was like a cartridge that housed that caged ball lock. And then on the XL, they went away from a body screw and they just used a pin in blind holes. So there was nothing holding the knife together in this location. Consequently, they just weren't strong. The centering would move all over the place. The handle flexed horribly. They had blade play issues. It was a bigger knife than a Manix 2. No lighter, proportionally heavier, and less strong. Now here, we got a different story here. And I remember thinking as I was contemplating this knife as it was on its way from Ottawa, Tennessee, I thought, man, I hope they didn't do a Manix 2 XL job on this. And I got it and looked at it, and frankly, I didn't even notice the missing female cups for the body screws. I just picked it up and I thought, where did the weight go? Everything else looks, if you're looking at it from this side, it all looks pretty normal. And I sharpened it and I carried it for a few days and I thought, how much does this thing weigh? And I weighed it, just like it says in the specs, 2.7 ounces. I'm like, how'd they do that? And so I start looking around inside. There is no steel liners, no nested skeletonized liners, nothing. Just steel where steel has to be, right? Yeah. So is it going to be as strong as a Stretch 2 normal size with steel liners? Probably not. I don't know. But when you look at the knife, when you look at the slender blade profile, the perfect distal taper, the thinness behind the edge, this is not an overbuilt knife. This is a precision cutting tool. By the way, at least in this first iteration, blade steel is, it's a Seki City Spyderco. It's going to be VG10. Guys, I don't love VG10. I've always sort of said VG10 rolls if you look at it crossly. That's probably not true. But it's, it's got a lot of toughness, not a lot of edge retention, very stainless. It's a squared away EDC steel, no doubt about that. It's just not a modern super steel. But yeah, I've got zero blade play. I've got near free drop in action. I've got perfect blade centering, and I've got awesome flickability. Great flicking geometry from hand grip to pivot to spider hole. You just develop lots of natural tension. No wrist necessary, just flies right out. Better than an Endura, I would say. Let's see. And I'm a little wrong-handed, but yeah, it's better than an Endura. Certainly better than a Native, even a Native Chief. Take a look at that edge bevel width. If I can get you a good shot of it, I'll try. Very consistent hilt to tip. Now I sharpened this at 16 degrees per side to 1100 grit on diamond, and then stropped it to 2 microns. And I think it came out pretty good. That's probably, I don't know, maybe a little more acute geometry than VG10 is going to do well with, just from a durability standpoint, but it's pretty slicing. Yeah, that dog will hunt. Your knife will cut. One thing about VG10, it does take a nice polish, and I didn't take that to the nth degree. I've kind of started to think over the years that just a little bit of tooth helps cutting aggression. So that's kind of why I stopped where I stopped. I took this to the bank and the post office today. I had a huge mail haul today, and man, did this thing excel. Opening boxes, breaking down cardboard. The tip is kind of out there, no doubt about that. Kind of hard to get up on it because it's a very long blade, but general ergos, whether you're back in the normal saber, if you come forward into the 50-50, all squared away. The overhand pinch grip, super comfortable. I love this contour as opposed to the Endura. Notice the Endura has the peak. It's kind of, at least the Endura has 2 full fingers up front, right? The Delica and the new Endella do not. The Stretch, they just smoothed it out, which to me is a much better design. Then you got a nice peak at the horn. Just, make sure you know where the back end is. Let's see. Hammer grip, nice. Even if you come forward, it's a little better back here. Draw cut grip, very nice. Now you're sort of Vertical draw cut, no, the horn's going to dig into your palm. Not the most comfortable grip. Where this knife really excels is saber forward, saber back, and overhand pinch. Or if you'd like to come up, it'll do that just fine too. But did I mention 2.7 ounces? Wow. And I like that they went with the black clip even though it is painted. Would it look good with the stonewash polish? Yeah, tumble polish clip. It probably would. I just think that is it just screams cutting tool to me. I love this knife. I hope, and this is, by the way, it's all Sal. You know, this family of knives that really descends from the worker, the C01 worker. They've always been Sal designs. Are they going to stop coming out with new ones when Sal's no longer with us? I don't know. I think they just did a phenomenal job on this knife. Now, I got to give you full disclosure here. I probably would not purchase with my own money this knife in this configuration. I love the pattern. I love the dimensions. I love the weight. It's a big out, right? And you guys know, I love cutters. A knife is a cutting tool. It's not a pry bar, it's not a hatchet, it's not a hammer, and it's not a screwdriver. It's a cutting tool. That's a cutting tool. But would I like it? Maybe with a Zome handle? Maybe with a carbon-rich FRN like the CF Elite Benchmade handle? Yeah. Would I even go with a G10 handle? Yeah. I'd sacrifice a little weight to get some maybe nicely milled G10. Yeah. Would I love a better steel? Yes. For instance, now they already make the normal regular size stretch 2 in K390. Would I buy this knife in K390? Oh, give me 3. Are you kidding? Just one of the... This, in my mind, guys, is one of the best Spyderco designs in the last 10 years. This is almost like... well, it's kind of the test market configuration, right? Black FRN VG10 blade. Are people going to appreciate the pattern? Is there going to be enough interest there for Spyderco to start making sprint runs of this knife, or at least just different configurations? Maybe some dealer exclusive. Gosh, I hope so. I really do. I like it better than the Endura. I like it better than the military. I like it better than the Police 4. Yeah. Just superb work. Great job, Sal. And special thanks to Jay, Josh, Tyler, all the gang at Knife Ship Free for shooting this one out to me. In the description of this video, you will find an affiliate link to the Stretch 2 XL Lightweight page at knifeshipfree.com. If you use my affiliate link, it'll take you directly to this page for you to purchase one. And then there will be a little something for the TheApostleP channel when you use that affiliate link. So I would much appreciate it if you'd utilize that and take advantage of that. And it is, as I have said oh so many times, the best place to buy knives. Period. I think that's all for this one, guys. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. And so is that Stretch 2 XL. I will talk to you soon. Have a great evening.